FaZe, it got them those final couple rounds to end this half 4-2. Now we'll see how Virtus.pro does on the defensive side. I mentioned earlier the trades for VP on this top floor. The trades for VP in general on any map are very excellent. But Joystick was able to find a lot of ground in the opening picks, holding passive angles. We'll see what Faze's strategy is instead.
Going to be splitting this, as you would expect on Consulate. Little window play, little drone to try and find an entry point for these entry players. Cyber, as we know, one of the best of the best right now when it comes to that entry capability. Currently sitting at 41 kills to 23 deaths on his entry. My God, I'll say it for you folks. That's absolutely ludicrous. So, Little I think going to be looking to do even more with this. Has to shoot that little tank at the back, and it'll stop the boogie drone. That's exactly what they'll do. But ripping up some more flooring there for Faze. Pretty interesting fold, I would say, especially given the circumstances, what we saw on the previous attack. But as you can see, Faze doing a lot of pushing and pulling here, trying to prod Virtus.pro into figuring out what exactly Faze is going for. I really like this strategy so far.
If Faze want to find success in this backside, they will need to remove Dan, of course, but always can be such a flexible player in this defensive setup. You can move him to the back to support Dan if he's facing pressure, to give him intel and to stall time. If it's on the front side, you can do that instead. Dan also has the shield as a fallback position. And those Banshees at the front with Pasha all the way inside of the A bomb site provide a little bit of a crossfire. Half the round now gone. Faze haven't really found a whole lot. KDS has been here for so long, and he struggled to find any bit of access. Barbed wire goes through, tries to activate the Banshee and shoot it, but all it does is give away his position.
Most definitely. This timer eating at them now. Have to get a move going here. Souls is going to work his way in spiral. You have Handy and KDS to the north, and they're going to be able to at least start looking for engagements. But Joystick, he hits his mark first. The Clash doing a great job of being able to read the situation for Virtus.pro. A lot of damage, but Handy will finally take down Pasha, making this a 4 versus 4. Making a 4 versus 3 as he'll take down Dan.
Excellent shots from Handy. Now opening up this round for Faze is just like VP. They felt halted, they felt stopped at those doorways, and now they found a way in. They found a way through into the site, but there's still this clash. Of course, the utility, you've got the smokes, and for that Warden as well, if there were flashes on the board, he could be another big problem. But the bigger issue is that shotgun. You have Joystick up close, always applying pressure, and one final bit of utility for Shepard to make it even sweeter. Will any of it work for VP to stop this entry? No, he doesn't get a single kill. Shepard might trade it, but a massive missed opportunity, and the smoke grenade misses as well. 3v1, Vidiking gets the bomb down. The round ends the moment that clock hits 0. Faze defying the odds in the late round. They go up 5-2.
And to even complicate things further for Faze as they tried to readdress the site. Round 9 now as Faze still looking to gather this penultimate point. They're going to bring in Dokkaebi now, trying to assist with this clear with these logic bombs.
It's a good decision. You can see Virtus.pro are pushing out a little bit. There's the Solus, the Oryx, classic indications of operators looking to move a little bit off the site, but with those castle barricades as well, you can place them in positions on the first floor or the second floor to allow for a bit more easy mobility. Of course, force some utility from Faze to destroy them, but if they're still up, cover yourself from angles that Faze might be wanting to hold for a cutoff, or might be looking to take control in the map, make things a little different. Cyber, again, waiting for a call. Looking for guidance, waiting to see when he can open up that projector wall once that Dokkaebi call goes out. So does Cyber. Skeleton keys start ringing. No capitalization just yet, but it will force some movement from Virtus.pro, anticipating a clear from FaZe Clan.
This will at least be the top floor going the way of Faze. Reload. Still do have some bodies around this mid floor, like Shepard, who also capable of rotating like Pasha through those hatches. I believe Shepard's just dropped off as well, as they will do their best to try and turtle up on that basement floor. Solid consideration so far here from the squad as they'll continue to clear on down. Cyber more than aware that there could be some people playing over inside a piano, but it's actually Joystick that strikes first onto Souls. A nice impact out from the Goyo, hopefully locking up that wall for VP's sake.
Fifth opening kill, I believe, in the series for Joystick so far. Very strong, but as you can see, it hasn't always caused the round to go Virtus.pro's way. Still FaZe Clan in the lead, and look at the control they have on this middle floor. The hatch open by Virtus.pro to allow for rotations back to the site, but it's one that still FaZe have control of. They've also got this buck in position with a minute left. Start opening up the floorboards, applying pressure to those Virtus.pro defenders on the site. Still a lot of drones for Faze to use as well to find these remaining bombs.
No more Logi bombs, though. That's something that's quite useful when it comes to execution. Joystick, he's been flashed out and murdered by KDS. A nice find here for Faze, making it a possibility for round 9 to go their way.
There's fire in his way, though. KDS stuck for about 20 seconds, unless he wants to just sprint on through. But they brought it back to even. So many of these rounds, it's been an opening pick, gone untraded immediately after, but then a follow-up to a 4v4, and more often than not, an even later follow-up to a 4v3 for Faze. Dan in the power position, no kill going his way. A likely match point now for Faze is Handy, the biggest performer on Faze so far throughout Consulate. Flash goes out, Shepard blinded, another impactless kill. So much for Shepard, but so little impact for Virtus Pro. Map point for Faze Clan, their pick looks beyond comfortable. Faze are so good at realizing, all right, we're not making progress, we need to do something quick, need to make a decision, and oftentimes that decision has resulted in not only a 4v4, but multiple times now a 4v3. Maybe Handy that time didn't have to get the 2K for it, but still, Faze are good for it.
Their calculation in the moment is amazing as of right now. Consulate looking like it was most definitely the proper choice for Faze in a moment like this, being able to reach all the way down in that mag, hold this out into the map hole when necessary. I would say upper bracket finals is most definitely that.
Most definitely the map to pull out your A game. In front of a sold-out crowd, all chanting your name, all believing that you and W7M can take it to the entire world. 2 NA teams gone. The EU team might have won, but another might fall if Faze remained this dominant throughout the rest of the series. We're almost half the round to go. We have a middle floor defense. We saw Faze, the masters of pace in the previous round. Cyber looking for another, just make an explosive start in the mid game of round 10.
Slow gap found here, Handy with 1. Oh, and Handy with 2. Dan can't get it done. And this might be the moment for Faze to take Consulate. They still have to worry about all of this verticality, but Handy, he uses it to his advantage. Can he get the 4th? Another one, but no. It'll be Pasha to try and slow things down, try and stop the bleeding with this last moment on the precipice for Faze to take.
Pasha is still the difference maker in this round for Virtus Pro. He has top floor control, and while Handy might have temporarily acquired pressure and control inside of the bomb site, Pasha can still hold it. Deny the plant from up above. Shepard also holding with the shotgun, but they're starting to pressure Shepard, and Pasha's on 1 HP. He falls soon after. Cyber finds him through the floorboards, and Shepard again in an unwinnable 1vx. We know he's good for 2 at least, but every single time we found Shepard on Consulate in a 1vx, he finds 1, he finds 2, but he never wins. He's not closed on Consulate so far, and he's running out of time to bring Virtus Pro back from the brink on Faze Clan's pick. Diffuser spotted, but he's looking out the window. Faze playing patiently. 3 seconds to go. They know they don't even need to make a move. 7-3 for Faze Clan. For a first play at Consulate, I don't think you could have asked for a better statement on map 1.
Virtus Pro have a little bit of a strategy going into that map, unique abilities with the Buck playing the vertical play. Faze realized that, stopped the aggression, started slowing down, taking a little more of their time, and from then on, it was just Faze the whole way through.
Opening picks and converting them into a victory, that's a tough piece.
And that's an interesting piece, talking about those conversions, is because VP, overall, there was 10 opening engagements. They contributed 7 to those, and they could not turn those rounds into rounds 1. And on top of that, only 7 of those were not traded, so that leaves VP in a power position of constantly playing the trade game back and forth and dwindling down that and coming away with a round that they just could not seem to close.
Very brilliant idea. We've seen a couple of times where pros have decided to hide some ops in this tournament. I9, another one, ended up hiding the Oryx and had a huge moment. So things like these mind games, folks, this is what Siege is all about. Chess, not checkers. That's what makes this FPS so much different than the rest.
So much different. We'll see if Virtus Pro bring more of the same from Consulate and end up suffering for it. The moment FaZe switched things up, the moment they started changing their tune, Virtus Pro seemed like they didn't have a shot at winning that series. FaZe started playing patiently, and on the attack, were able to make quick decisions to get their man advantages back to a 4v3, flood in, and capitalize off of them almost immediately after. Opening picks are not a guarantee for Virtus Pro, and that's such a worrying trend from map 1 to have looming over your head in map 2, down 1-0 in the series. So even if we see VP have success early on, it is not a guarantee. It is more likely that they will need finding players like Handy and Cyber or Vidiking even in combination and not one-offs. They want a shot.
You can see the turtle that's been built up for FaZe on this bottom floor. They've extended themselves out. They've got KDS inside of VIP. You have Souls playing inside of Bakery. Handy will be the player over inside of Kochek as well. So they've got all of their bases covered when it comes to this bottom floor. It's all going to be about the transition speed of Virtus Pro. That's what FaZe is limit testing right now. And I especially love the fact that they did hide that Clash because of this. If Virtus Pro aren't aware and they get on bad timing, Clash will make things inevitably worse.
I mean, VP don't have a reputation for being slow, right?
Right?
Right, guys? That's not something that could potentially, I don't know, be exploited by FaZe by hiding that Clash, as Sam just mentioned. Who knows? Well, if they weren't aware of it before, they're certainly aware of it now. Vidiking just sitting in the corner in the exact position you'd expect. If VP go for a freeze or drop, which considering there's... Is he also hiding an Evil Eye? He is, look at this. He's trying to hide an Evil Eye behind that Clash shield so the Brava can't hack it.
This is so smart from FaZe. Not only is Clash an amazing deterrent for a situation like this, but these Evil Eyes are great to try and defend when it comes to those plans. But finally, they'll try and break through. That Evil Eye will go the way of the offense. They'll start hazing up that Clash. Good damage coming in on Vidiking.
He's forced Vidiking off the position, and now Virtus Pro have started moving on in. But Cyber with the first pick, Vidiking being mowed down! Always two Evil Eyes in a dream has found the Clash, but FaZe are still in it. All that good work on those clutch drones, and it might all be for nothing. A nice flank from Handy. Utility play will not save you. FaZe have the guns to make it work. Round 1 on Cafe goes to FaZe Clan. 1v5s, that Shepard's a great player. He can get 1 or 2 if they're given to him, no problem. But a vast amount of his kills didn't affect the round because the round was already lost. Joystick was really the main guy who was consistently having impact, and even then, it's not enough to be that one player putting up a good performance against a team that is all playing together, all fighting to win that map. That's what FaZe were before. Maybe VP have found something now.
This drone game already dwindling right now for Virtus Pro. We saw how solid it was in that last round, able to shut down Cyber on that flank up round stairs. They only have 3 drones now, Carter. Only a single minute has went away, and they don't have a single info op in this offensive lineup.
I mean, Sam, maybe an IQ to find something, who knows at this point? Like you said, 2 drones, no Dokkaebi, no Lion. If you thought VP were slow before, I've got bad news, fellas. They're not going to speed up their pace now. Maybe they will, though. We saw the adaptations from FaZe. If they were stalling, they'd push. Very quickly, they'd flood in and pressure a position. VP aren't that kind of team. With some of the aggression we've seen from Pasha, some of the small changes that make a big difference in a tournament. We see them try to do that and not just fall to the trappings of their playstyle. Cyber anticipating a little bit of a gap. He's pushed up ever so slightly in Pixel, but he doesn't really need to. Handy down below as well. This C4 will send one out, but it's shot in midair. Instead, Vidiking with the start, VP on the back foot in the final minute.
Nice find from him, and a beautiful kill from Handy from the hatch. Shepard, a lot of fodder coming in on him as well, so lose a decent chunk of his life. Cyber, can he go for 2? He knows where that player is, but he won't be able to get it. It'll be KDS instead, as FaZe turn it up to 11 and claim the round. Buck, Nomad, Sledge, Habana, and Zofia. We rarely see lineups like this nowadays because there's so many utility pieces on the offense that you can have access to. Things like Lion, things like Doke, things, I mean, just across the board. This is just such a old guard lineup. And VP going to try and make the most of this situation. A nitro cell out, it won't find Dan.
Sire will be able to back up as well. You saw him playing the pixel position before. Normally you have that deployable shield and you'll just hold there as long as you can. Cyber may be going for something a little more fluid, a little less static. It might have worked before, but you were still able to end up closing out that reading round inside of the site. KDS goes for the hop out, but always has been down below. He baited out this very run out. He knew that once Faze read his presence here, they might go for that aggression, so he goes on the rappel instead, cuts down KDS. That's a brilliant read and anticipation by Virtus Pro.
Very well done. Doesn't mean that Faze is going to slow down at all, though. We still have these players over here on white stairs. That drone will get picked up by the clash of Vidiking. Souls and the rest of the gang going to do their damnedest to try and hold on to this portion of the map, folks. It's so unbelievably important when it comes to getting a case down. If they are capable of not only holding on to it, but also getting some kills from this position, it could change up the fate of round 5.
Vidiking hears some Exkyros going off, and he said, I think I'll move up, thank you very much. I think I'll look to see what the attack is doing. Faze fighting back. Faze fighting back. The Russians are getting nervous. Souls might have their number. Cyber with another. Virtus Pro, and where their advantage has started completely slipping away. Smoke canister downs Pasha, but the way he was almost last alive, you could easily confuse the two. Always pushing up white stairs, almost finds a third for his troubles. Downs Vidiking with the lifeline, has intel on another. A very odd position at the moment where he's able to tome another. 4K 1v5 in the making, potentially. He's got these breach charges, 30 seconds left, no drones in his pocket though. So no intel to find Souls. The Warden can catch him off guard. That's the one thing going Faze's way at the moment. As long as Always holds out, he's able to react in time, Sam. He might just win the best clutch of the tournament. Breach charge up above. Always going for the drop. Souls, don't overplay your hand. The shots go out. Always trying his best. But Souls is too damn good. On fire indeed. Faze are shutting out Virtus Pro almost 2 maps in a row.
As they now have to readdress Cafe in its entirety.
Both teams an opportunity to give us a look that might define the half. In the case of Faze, it certainly did, moving up 5-2. After that, it seemed Virtus Pro were going to need to fight for every single round and only win them at a razor-thin margin. At least here for Faze's idea of how to deal with this mining and dining bomb site. They're looking to pressure a lot of different points at once. We see some presence by Red Hats. We'll see Cyber and Handy drop down, but you also have somebody over on the Whitehall rappel. Might see some cocktail pressure later if they find anybody on the backside. There is Joystick roaming inside of Reading, and Dan over on the cocktail balcony alongside Always. There's a lot of different positions Faze can take up to start fighting these defenders, but at the moment, no. They'll decide on one clear decision. Cigar is where they'll start. Maybe they'll rotate, maybe they'll adapt, but at least in the mid-game, this is where Faze are making their home.
Faze doing a great job of propelling themselves forward here for the Christmas position. No deaths just yet on either side, respectively. Cyber, this little Castle barricade here should keep him up and at him. Nice find onto Always. Looking for more inside a cocktail. And it's going to be Pasha with the fade away. Amazing shots out of him as they will equal footing here going into the last minute.
Boogie's ready to shred. Still options for a retake later, too. We're reaching that point in the round where things stand just at a balance but can easily be disrupted. If Faze gets the advantage, they could flood in and succeed. If VP rotate and retake, might be the end for their attack. Handy knows someone's downstairs. Not only does he have the air jab right there, he's not leaving anything to chance. He'll hold that position while KDS does the work on the top floor. But to Virtus Pro's credit, there's not a lot of time left, and with the crossfires and the angles they have, they can hold out the site, but there, Handy's found Shepard, 0-5 so far, and with Pasha off site, that makes this basically a 4v2. Joystick's also down below, but Vidiking's anticipated this. The impacts are useless, but the bullets are true. Vidiking shut down, and this is how VP can hold it. Dan trying to fight off the Ram. Souls falls. KDS needs to be clinical. He has to cover. Joystick is found handy with the diffuser, but he's shut down. 1 HP for Dan in the post plant. Handy's been so clinical this entire series, and it only requires 1 bullet to add a 9th to his tally. Worst players have achieved 4 more. The easiest 1v1 of Handy's career gets Faze another 5-2 half.
Can try and warm themselves up to the occasion, especially for Shepard's sake. I mean, my God, man, that first map, even though they were a lot of impactless frags, you were cooking, especially with that SMG-11. As of now, 0-5, and I'm sure all of your teammates would appreciate you showing up the same way, or even close to the same way that you were in that previous map.
Cyber looking for something down red stairs. I always love how quickly this man can get in the map, how quickly he wants to take control. Dokkaebi call also going out. Cyber will back off the moment, go back up to the top floor, just get a view of what it's looking like on this middle floor, then move back, join the rest of the team. It's 3 different Virtus Pro defenders on this top floor with support from Shepard down below with a C4, but Handy's found him. He's just lurked his way into reading room. He's got control of the bomb site, Sam.
Sometimes you don't have to overcomplicate things, Carter. Sometimes you simply have to walk forward. You have to take land, and that's what Faze will do. Virtus Pro, they put everything on black. They put everything on the top floor, and Faze expose it immediately. Feed him to the wolves. It's Faze all day.
Map point, series point, upper bracket final point. Faze simply 1 round away from being the first team to make our grand final. That day off, you want that comfort of knowing you're guaranteed at least second. Virtus Pro are collapsing, falling apart. Faze are picking up the pieces and just chucking them out the window.
Yeah, the board game no longer exists. Simply Faze, what can you do against this raid boss? Cyber working his way up through this barbed wire. That sound cue is not going to work in an environment like this. Cyber's once again just going to walk in. Virtus Pro, they are not paying attention to what the capabilities of Faze are in this moment. Almost losing his head there as he saw Cyber for a split second, but neither one of them coming close in contact. Cyber does have some sight control, but now it's going to be a fight back scenario for Virtus Pro. They'll be able to at least reclaim and make this winnable into the 3 versus 3. Soul's on low HP. He's going to claim more up red stairs, but they still have Vita King to work around to try and push themselves and spearhead into this site.
Vita King needs to find that pressure. A lot of that vertical destruction was left when KDS fell on the side of Faze. So you need to have these drones find impact. You need to have these players find ground, take momentum. I mean, Sam, we might see Handy just send it into the side at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's looked so solid across both of these maps. 11-4 right now. And he sits right outside of Haldor. Go for reading on a moment's notice. And more than likely, Carter, we'll see Faze try and work their way down white or down really any entry point with this Monty. Try and pull vision. And then let Handy do what he does best. Kill the opposition. Souls, almost with a nice find. That Selma usage, very creative. Not something you see every day when it comes to the soft destruction, but still something that more than in the regard, at least in this situation, be usable. Drone there, new jammer out. Sub-minute here as Vita King has to try and find a place to plant.
But he's moved to an off spot. The canister goes in the default position, but that's not where Vita King is with the diffuser. There's also the Legion all the way in train that we saw earlier who might prove to be the difference maker. And if Souls is watching flanker, Joystick's going for the retake. He can shut this down, but one always falls. Handy's able to find him, but there's Joystick with the retake. Faze in a difficult position. Where do you rotate? How do you move? They found one remaining defender, but can they find 2? He goes for the position, Handy goes for the kill. Another 1v1 to send Faze to the grand final, not yet. Posh is still in it, Posh is still hungry. They need 2 more, but Virtus Pro still have some fight left in them. Quite familiar.
I really hope that they do. We saw what Virtus Pro were capable of when they were trying to guard that VIP position, and eventually Faze was able to garner it. but there was so much value lost in that moment. There was really no chance for them to try and translate that into a site take. Virtus.pro battering and bruising them across the board when it came to this site. Let's see what FaZe can do this time around as they have a better understanding of what VP wants.
And he immediately inside of the second floor, 20 seconds in, and he's rappelling into reading room. That's better than cyberspace on some map, it seems. We're talking about 30 seconds maybe on an Oregon full clear. In 20 seconds, Handy has acquired middle floor control and can call Cyber up to say, hey, I've cleared out everything. I can get that vertical destruction, no problem.
And this is just all on good info from FaZe. They've set these drones up properly in the prep phase. They know where Virtus.pro is already, so you know you can just enter the mid-floor. You don't have to worry about anybody being upstairs. You don't have to worry about anybody on that mid-floor. You just enter, take, and immediately start translating into this basement level, this first floor. Let me not make Atero mad about basement things. But yes, they already are going to be able to pick this up. They have KDS as well on the sledge, but they also have Cyber on the buck here too to assist in creating some of these longer angles to things like coffee.
There's so much vertical destruction at their disposal. Once they get it done, what FaZe need to concern themselves with, Sam, it's Dan at bottom white. It's Pasha playing the Whiskey Bar. Those players who went on red, who were undealt with, who were the undoing for FaZe previously, that's who they need to counter. But how are they going to do it?
It's a very good question. Obviously, the nade nerf has made things a lot harder to try and deal with positions like VIP. We haven't seen them try and adapt into something like a Capitao or something along those lines to try and assist. So it's most definitely going to be the crossfires and trying to apply some pressure in other means. We do have those nades on Handy. It's just the cook timer now that you have to worry about, so that player will be able to move away. But maybe that dislodgement gives them the moment that they are so desperately looking for. Oh, Vita's already in.
But look at this, Vidaking doesn't have the diffuser. He's made his way in, but where is everybody else? They're pushing from a different direction. Handy's rotated over, Soul's also inside a bakery, but he's been found out, but he's been finished. FaZe with a brilliant switch up. Vidaking baits the freezer drop, and FaZe rotate instead. So it's just Pasha and Dan now separated by two different floors, but Dan has the cutoff. Vidaking's now rotated, he has that diffuser, and Pasha's fighting back. It's only KDS, and Dan still has that top floor on 1 HP. Can KDS cut them off? Dan's not looking. The plant goes down successfully. Where's the counterplay? Where's the adjustments? Nothing. Nothing from Virtus.pro except a strong effort by Pashu. But an even better one for Vidaking. Full extended. Holding out in the post plant. A position every defender is so worried about. But can Dan, with his grand final on the line, juke him out? Happy feet. Happy feet. Combo incoming. It's nothing. Listen to this. Brutal. FaZe have played second fiddle this entire year. But the bridesmaids of Brazil might just have their day. FaZe Clan in front of a home crowd are the first team in the grand final of SI 24.
Brazil stand up as FaZe take it 2-0 off of the back of some of the best shield mechanics I have ever borne witness to. Vidaking, what a moment there. The immediate decision making to slap the other man as he's taking that gunfight. Create a 1v1, which Monty is one of the most dangerous operators to try and deal with in a scenario like that. Dan has zero utility. He has to try and make an error, but Vidaking doesn't live for those. He lives to be the king, baby, and he's looking to find his crown. He's looking to find that hammer.
And if you're looking at that round and you're thinking, who are FaZe Clan? Who is this team? It's that. There's barely any changes in the operators. There's barely even any changes in the first 2 minutes of the round. But Vidaking keeps the same position and everything changes around them. FaZe said, we've conditioned them. They know we're gonna go for a freezer drop and we'll give it to them. Just for one player, just Vidaking. The rest will move into bakery, move into bottom red. They'll take the control instead and take the series 2-0. We have Ian,